Usha Vance is a highly accomplished woman, yet she is known for being reserved, possessing a sharp legal mind, and making history as the first Indian-American Second Lady of the United States. However, whispers in political circles suggest she may not be as polished as she seems. They say the people who know you best are your family, and no one knows Usha better than her own mother, who may hold shocking secrets about her. How was Usha raised? What kind of relationship did she have with her mother? Why is there unsettling information that her mother has finally revealed something truly shocking about her? To understand the full story, we need to go back to the beginning. Usha Vance's mother, Dr. Lakshmi Chilukuri, is an accomplished educator and scientist originally from Andhra, India. Her family moved to Chennai when her father-in-law, Ramas Sastry Chilukuri, became a professor at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT. The Chilukuri family was known for its deep ties to academia, and Lakshmi followed in their footsteps, excelling in her education and career. In the late 1970s, Lakshmi and her husband, Dr. Radha Krishna Chilukuri, immigrated to the United States, where they built a life rooted in knowledge, discipline, and cultural heritage. The couple raised Usha and her sister in San Diego, California, in a household that blended Hindu traditions with the pursuit of academic excellence. Lakshmi Chilukuri built an impressive career in molecular biology, becoming a professor at UC San Diego, where she also serves as the provost of Sixth College, a leadership position she took on in 2018. She has been recognized as a dedicated and dynamic educator, responsible for designing microbiology teaching curricula, mentoring students, and advancing diversity in science. Her passion for education extends beyond textbooks and research, playing a key role in shaping courses that explore race, ethnicity, and gender in biology and medicine while encouraging students to examine science from a multicultural perspective. She has also worked on equity and diversity initiatives, proving her commitment to inclusive education. Lakshmi's work ethic is well known. Those who have worked with her describe her as determined, highly intelligent, and deeply committed to her students and research. Her leadership at UC San Diego has helped shape the university's academic programs and student success initiatives. As a result, Lakshmi has inspired a new generation of scholars, including Usha Vance, who followed in her mother's footsteps. Usha grew up in a high-achieving academic family, with a mother in molecular biology and a father in aerospace engineering. The expectation to excel was naturally ingrained in her upbringing. Education was not just important, it was non-negotiable. Usha has spoken publicly about her Hindu upbringing, emphasizing that her parents' faith played a major role in shaping their values. "I did grow up in a religious household. My parents are Hindu, and that is one of the things that made them such good parents, that made them really good people," she once shared in an interview. Lakshmi's structured approach to life likely influenced Usha's disciplined nature. The same focus on intellectual excellence, perseverance, and self-reliance that Lakshmi demonstrated in her career was passed down to her daughter. Many who know Usha believe her mother's influence helped shape her into the intelligent and accomplished woman she is today. Lakshmi Chilukuri's dedication to science, education, and family values created an environment where discipline and ambition were paramount. However, was this structured upbringing always nurturing, or did it demand unyielding perfection? From the outside, Usha Vance's upbringing seemed like the perfect foundation for success. Her mother is an accomplished academic dedicated to education, discipline, and hard work, shaping young minds in molecular biology and emphasizing critical thinking, rigor, and perseverance. Naturally, she held her own daughter to the highest of standards. But did this high-achieving environment create an unstoppable woman or one who became emotionally distant and ruthless? Those close to the family say Usha was raised in an environment of excellence, where failure was not an option. Her mother ensured that Usha and her sister followed a strict academic and personal regimen. Because Lakshmi wasn't just a professor at UC San Diego, she was also a mentor and a leader in educational reform. Yet behind closed doors, was she as nurturing as she was authoritative? Some sources suggest that Usha's childhood was defined by pressure and expectations. While other children played freely, Usha was expected to focus on her studies, excel in extracurricular activities, and uphold the values her mother cherished. This discipline helped Usha thrive, eventually earning degrees from Yale and establishing herself as a top-tier lawyer. But at what cost? People who have observed the Vance family dynamic whisper that Usha's relationship with her mother was more transactional than affectionate. Some speculate that Lakshmi viewed Usha's success as a reflection of her own, pushing her daughter toward relentless achievement. Others argue that this strict approach shaped Usha into the strong, composed woman she is today. But was there warmth behind this rigid upbringing? There are mixed accounts. Some say that while Lakshmi was a devoted mother, her expectations created an emotional distance between her and Usha. Unlike typical mother-daughter relationships filled with warmth and tenderness, their bond was structured around discipline and performance. It was less about emotional support and more about striving for excellence. Critics of Usha argue that her reserved, almost detached nature in public and political settings is a direct result of this upbringing. She appears calm and collected, never one to show vulnerability. Some insiders claim that this is because she was raised to suppress emotions and prioritize logic, structure, and control. As J.D. Vance's political career has brought Usha further into the public eye, some have begun to scrutinize her demeanor. While supporters admire her intelligence and composure, others see her as cold, calculating, and unwilling to show genuine warmth. They question whether the same drive that made her successful also made her distant and unapproachable. Before she became Usha Vance, she was Usha Chilukuri, a sharp-minded, ambitious woman who spent her life excelling in academics. She earned her undergraduate degree from Yale University before continuing at Yale Law School, where she built a reputation as a focused and highly disciplined student. Even among Yale's elite, Usha stood out. Her legal career took off quickly. She clerked for Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, an achievement that only the best of the best can claim. After that, she joined Munger, Tolles & Olson, a prestigious law firm known for its top-tier clients and high-profile cases. By all accounts, she was on track to become a legal powerhouse, far removed from the messy world of politics. Then she met J.D. Vance. At first glance, their relationship seemed like an unlikely match. J.D. was an Ohio native with a troubled upbringing. He was also a former Marine who later attended Yale Law but had none of the elite background or high-status ambitions that defined Usha's life. He was best known for his book Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir about growing up in a working-class family in Appalachia. The book was widely discussed in political and media circles as it explored themes of poverty, culture, and the struggles of the white working class. Some say Usha played a critical role in shaping J.D.'s career. While he was still a law student, she encouraged him to pursue writing and share his experiences. As J.D. transitioned from author to venture capitalist and eventually to Senate candidate, Usha remained a steady presence in his life. Some political insiders whisper that Usha Vance was not just a passive observer in J.D.'s rise but an active strategist. She had spent years working in the elite legal world, surrounded by people who understood power, influence, and how to navigate political landscapes. Some critics believe Usha had a bigger role in molding J.D. into a political figure than many realize. They argue that J.D.'s shift from venture capitalism to running for Senate wasn't just about personal ambition, it was part of a calculated move that Usha pushed for. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of Usha's transformation is the role she plays in shaping J.D.'s positions. While she avoids public political statements, many believe her influence is undeniable. She could be the quiet force behind her husband's rhetoric, encouraging him to take hardline stances. Usha Vance's transformation raises many questions about her true beliefs and motivations. If she supports certain positions, does she genuinely believe in them, or is she merely doing what is necessary to maintain power? As her mother, Lakshmi Chilukuri, reveals shocking secrets about her daughter, it becomes clear that Usha's transformation is more complex than it initially appears. To many, Usha Vance is the epitome of grace under pressure, an intelligent, successful lawyer, a devoted wife, and a quiet yet steady force behind J.D. Vance's political career. However, critics have begun to ask a more provocative question. Is Usha truly the person she presents herself to be? Unlike many political spouses who actively campaign and court public attention, Usha remains a puzzle. She rarely gives interviews, speaks about her personal life, or maintains a social media presence, leading to endless speculation. Is she simply a private person, or is she intentionally concealing a more calculating and ambitious side? One of the biggest criticisms leveled against her is that she lacks warmth, not just in public but also in personal relationships. Insiders suggest she is fiercely disciplined, a trait inherited from her mother, Dr. Lakshmi Chilukuri. Growing up in a high-achieving Indian-American household, Usha was expected to excel academically, professionally, and socially. However, this pressure might have made her not just emotionally distant but also ruthless. Usha Vance's relationship with her Indian heritage adds complexity to understanding her identity. Despite strong family ties to India, she rarely discusses her background publicly. Unlike other prominent Indian Americans such as Nikki Haley and Kamala Harris, who have openly navigated their ethnic identity, Usha remains largely silent. Her Hindu upbringing is not part of her public narrative, and there is little evidence of her engaging with her Indian roots today. Some wonder if this is a deliberate choice, perhaps to align with J.D. Vance's public image, or if she has distanced herself from it as part of her personal growth. Further speculation about her true beliefs arose when she defended J.D. Vance's controversial remark about childless cat ladies. When J.D. made comments about liberal women without children, many expected Usha, who built her career in liberal circles, to speak out against it. Instead, she stood by him, leading some to believe she genuinely agrees with his stance. The possibility that Usha is not just following J.D.'s lead but shaping his views has raised eyebrows. If true, this suggests that Usha, who rarely speaks publicly, may hold more influence than people realize. Her transformation from a Yale-educated lawyer to the wife of a prominent politician has been significant, and her silence on certain matters only adds to the intrigue surrounding her identity. It is one thing for critics to speculate about Usha Vance's true nature. It is another when the most damning accusations come from someone who knows her best, her own mother. Whispers have circulated that Dr. Lakshmi Chilukuri has privately expressed disturbing concerns about her daughter's character. According to sources, her mother has described Usha in chilling terms: "She is pure evil." These allegations paint a picture vastly different from the disciplined, brilliant lawyer and quiet political wife the public sees. Insiders claim that her mother has said Usha has always known how to get what she wants, by any means necessary. This behavior, they say, is not new. It goes back to childhood. Raised in an environment of extreme discipline, Usha reportedly mastered not just discipline but manipulation. Some believe that her sharp intellect was not just used for academic success but also to maneuver herself into positions of power. When it comes to her marriage to J.D. Vance, some observers argue that it was a calculated move rather than a love story. Vance, an ambitious but unpolished man, had potential, but he was someone who could be guided, shaped, and positioned for greater influence. Usha may have recognized his rise before he did, subtly steering him toward new opportunities that aligned with their mutual aspirations. There is also the question of her faith. Usha was raised Hindu, and traditionally, her Indian mother would have expected her to marry within their faith or at least within the broader South Asian community. Her choice to marry outside of this background has led some to speculate that her marriage was more about power than passion. This could be the source of tension between Usha and her mother, tension severe enough for her mother to reveal these shocking secrets. Furthermore, doubts about Usha's convictions have grown due to her limited public response to her husband's rhetoric. J.D. Vance's political platform includes strong anti-immigration views, which directly impact individuals with backgrounds similar to Usha's and her family. Despite this, Usha has remained publicly silent. In contrast, others have spoken out or distanced themselves from similar policies. Her silence has led some to question her stance. Some speculate that she may have helped shape J.D.'s views and crafted his political stance to mold him into the perfect figure for her long-term ambitions. But is Usha Vance simply misunderstood, or is she the cold, calculating force that her harshest critics describe? Whether or not Usha's mother truly described her as pure evil, or if this is just rumor-mongering, the claim has sent shockwaves through public discourse. Regardless of the truth, one undeniable fact remains: Usha Vance is now one of the most powerful women in America. As the wife of the vice president, and potentially the future first lady, her influence extends far beyond what the public sees. While she has maintained a carefully measured, quiet presence, her sharp legal mind and strategic thinking raise questions about how much power she wields behind the scenes. If Usha is indeed as ruthless and Machiavellian as her detractors suggest, what does this mean for the future of the country? Could she be subtly shaping key policies and guiding decisions to ensure that her husband's political future aligns with a larger, long-term vision of power? More importantly, does this alleged ruthlessness serve as a strength or a danger? These whispers have ignited debates. Some argue that a woman with such discipline, intelligence, and strategy could be an asset to the administration, ensuring calculated and effective leadership behind the scenes. However, others fear that such qualities, when combined with unchecked ambition, could lead to dangerous, self-serving decision-making that prioritizes power over principle. There are also personal implications. If these allegations are to be believed, what does this mean for Usha's legacy? If history paints her as a cold, power-hungry figure, Will she be remembered as an influential force for good or as a shadowy figure operating behind the throne? Perhaps the most unsettling question remains: what if the whispers are true, but no one realizes it until it is too late? So, what is the real truth about Usha Vance? Is she simply a brilliant, disciplined woman who values her privacy, unfairly scrutinized by a world eager to find scandal? Or is she truly the cold, ruthless force some critics paint her to be? Her mother's alleged remarks have cast a long shadow over her public image, leaving many to wonder how much of Usha Vance's persona is real and how much is carefully curated. Throughout her life, she has excelled in elite circles, navigating the high-stakes world of law and power with a steady hand. This leads many to believe that she must have a more ruthless side, one that is willing to do whatever it takes to maintain control. Yet, despite the swirling rumors, Usha herself has remained largely silent. She does not address speculation nor make efforts to soften her image, which only fuels the mystery. Does her silence prove she has nothing to hide, or is it a calculated strategy to maintain control? At the end of the day, only Usha Vance and those closest to her know the full truth. To some, she is the devoted wife and brilliant legal mind standing beside her husband as he rises in power. To others, she is a dark force shaping America's future from behind the scenes. One thing, however, is certain. Whether seen as a quiet supporter or a master manipulator, Usha Vance is a name that will not be forgotten anytime soon. What do you think about Usha Vance? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.